There we go.
Oh,
now we're
perfect.
official.
Look at that.
Well, Loren, what are we drinking? Where are we here?
We are having ourselves a big, strong glass of ice water.
Everybody loves good,
Cheers.
strong ice water. Yes, cheers. I mean, we are in Port Orchard right now, but everybody knows that you are closely tied to the town of Republic. Why'd you choose to move to Republic so many years ago?
I just love the small mountain town of Republic. I love the outdoors. You know, I've been a lifelong fisherman, hunter. We've got 40 acres in the middle of nowhere that we consider heaven.
Things changed in 2018 with I-1639, which was approved by 59% of the vote, but you decided you weren't going to enforce it.
Police officers, chiefs of police, sheriffs decide every day, you know, through discretion, which laws they're going to enforce, which ones they're not going to focus on. And when that initiative passed, I knew that it was unconstitutional.
What about the argument, though, that it was approved by voters? It's been proven to be constitutional.
Mm-hmm. And you can look back on our history. You know, in World War II, 120,000 Japanese Americans were put in internment camps because that's what the Democrat president at the time said needed to be done for our safety. The same thing happened to Rosa Parks. That's the same thing that happened in Nazi Germany.
But with all that said, you've also run as the law and order candidate. That there should be more enforcement in cities like Seattle of the protests and the violence and everything that has happened, the homeless camps that have popped up.
Well, the last time I checked, there's not a constitutional right to be taking over city blocks of a city, to be looting stores and lighting buildings and cars on fire.
Do you believe that there's systemic racism in policing?
Yeah, I hear that all the time. If there's systemic racism in Washington State, whose fault is that? We've had a governor for at least 35 years from the Democrat Party. The Democrats are in charge of Seattle and King County. If there's been systemic racism, why haven't they done something about it?
You and I have talked before that you thought the way the officers handled George Floyd was wrong.
Yes.
You've been on record with that.
But what is there to say that was racist? I'm not defending the death of George Floyd. You know that. I've spoken out publicly about that. And good police officers arrested the bad ones and put them in jail.
What about the Jacob Blake case?
Again, is there evidence that it's racist? Were they racist police officers and shot him because of the color of his skin? Police officers don't show up someplace and go, oh, well, there's a person of different color than me and open fire.
You don't believe that to be the case. I mean, because the perspective by many in the African American community is that the reason why those incidents happened, those shootings, the George Floyd case happened was because it was a person of color and officers who are white. That's why I ask about systemic racism.
Yeah, I know that there's a small group of very loud people who want to paint the police as racist all the time.
Well, there's been a lot of fires. I mean, this has been a horrific summer for wildfires in Washington State. And do you believe climate change has anything to do with the reason why we've seen the spike in fires over the last 10 to 15 years in Washington State?
I don't think climate change starts fires. I think that our piss poor management has caused them to be hotter, burn hotter, burn faster, and kill more people.
If you're elected and you have to deal with the legislature, where do you cut? Where do you cut first?
Immediately, I would put a freeze on everything. You stop the bleeding.
All right, with that said, American Cop at bookstores now. Thanks for having a drink with me.
Thank
Loren.
you very much.